Hello. I wanted to bring a friend of mine on here today and do a little interview. I've had several people asking me recently about inflammation and just kind of overall body inflammation and how to reduce that and what kind of things we can do or what type of products do I have that can help with that. And I immediately thought of Hayley because I've been reading some of her story. She's in a chat group with me. And so I've just kind of seen over the last few months how things have been improving for her. So, hello, Hayley. Thanks for being here.
Hi, Crystal. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Hayley is a human resources recruiter. She's been doing that for about 7 years and she absolutely loves it, which is really important to love your job, right?
Oh, yeah.
She loves animals, has a passion for helping other people. And like I said, she's recently started this protocol that I've been doing for over a year, and she has had some fantastic results. So I wanted her to share those with you. But before she tells you all the good news, we want to know, like, where were you about 6 months ago or so? What was going on with your body?
Yeah. So, before I actually started protocol, the reason that I actually started it was because it was about 4 months after my fourth open heart surgery. And what I thought was just normal aches and pains from recovery. I was like, well, I'm an adult. Maybe it takes a little bit longer for my body to fully recover. What I thought was just normal aches and pains of recovery turned out to be rheumatoid arthritis. It was misdiagnosed as tendonitis, but it started in my hands. So my fingers were so swollen. I could not pick anything up. I couldn't even like button my pants. I had to have help buttoning my pants or getting dressed. I couldn't get up to go and pee in the mornings. It took me about 30 minutes to get up and actually get my joints moving enough to be able to walk. It felt like I was walking on like scalding hot concrete on the bottom of my feet. So my knees would not like straighten out. Um, and when I would sleep, like I would sleep bundled up. I'm cold nature. And like when I would straighten my knees out, it would take a good 5 minutes just to straighten it out. I would have to stand in the shower and run like hot water on my elbows, my shoulders. Like my body hurts so bad. Um, and it was worse, of course, when it would rain or the weather would change suddenly. It was very humid, or if it was like snowing, when the weather would drastically change, my body would feel it. I could tell about a day before it was going to storm that it was going to storm because I would hurt so bad. And for me, the biggest realization was I love to bake. Like that is my passion. And we were making pear bread because we have a pear tree and had like thousands of pears. And I was like, well, what can I do with these? So we made pear bread. And I made it through like cutting one of the pears and my finger just completely locked up and I couldn't straighten it back out. And I was like, something's got to give. This is miserable. And it just hurts so bad. Um, and then, of course, that's when I went and seen my doctor, and she ran the lab work, and my rheumatoid factor was a 71. Normal is 14 or below, and mine was at a 71. And she was like, "We need to get you in with a rheumatologist ASAP." And I was like, "Well, yeah, let's do that because that sounds smart if it's going to help." Um, and I went and seen her, and she had diagnosed, she did all the tests, all the blood work again, everything. And she's like, yeah, she was like, your rheumatoid factor 71, you have severe rheumatoid arthritis. And I'm like, I'm 26 years old. What is going on in my body?
Let me ask you a
So
question.
yeah,
Sorry, let me ask you a question. So you did not have the rheumatoid arthritis before your last heart surgery. Is that what you're saying?
I did. We want to
So
think
you had
maybe because
joint
I
pain.
did.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing that severe. Like it was
Okay.
nothing like it was. Like I would come home after working all day and like I'm on a keyboard or writing or signing paperwork all day long. I was like, man, my hands are sore. Like this is weird. But I didn't
Yeah.
think anything of it until after it all started coming together. And I was like, I bet I've had this for a while, which I played extreme sports and things like that. I don't
Hmm.
know what contributed to it. I know it's hereditary. So there's
Let me ask
still a
another
potential
question.
there.
With your heart surgeries, are there a lot of, or were there a lot of like antibiotics involved with that?
So, after the surgery, yes, they did put me on antibiotics to keep infection from because I
Right.
have like all my scars, of course, like one that goes this way, one that goes that way, and I have like 8 or 9 drain tube holes, and they didn't want those to get infected.
Sure.
So they did use a lot of antibiotic, and I know that that plays a huge part on your gut health and all of
It
that too.
does.
And that could have been, especially the like
Something to trigger.
nature of the surgery could have definitely triggered the inflammation and made the arthritis make itself known.
Wow. So, okay, I want to just say I am sorry for um, the struggles that you have had. You are so young and you are so brave and you are so strong. Like everything that I see and read that you put out there, you just keep going. You're like, okay, strike. I'm back up again. Man, down again. I am back up. Like you just keep going. And I, you know, proud is not really the word I'm looking for, but just proud of the way that you live your life and how you continue to get back up. You're such a inspiration to just young women in general that, you know, maybe struggling with even something totally different than what you have struggled with, but you are a goer. You're a doer. You are determined. And I really love that about you. I think that's kind of what drew me to you. So you have really struggled severely, not just in minor ways, but severely within your body, especially with the rheumatoid arthritis. So you were at a 71 on that scale. And what were their solutions for you? And then what did you decide to do?
So yeah, I met a dermatologist, and I liked her because she was very straightforward, but I didn't like her because some of the stuff she was saying. I'm not the beat around a bush type person, and I respect when someone's not. So she was like, listen, it's severe. I'm going to suppress your immune system. I want to put you on these injections. I want to put you on these medications, and I want you to get a vaccine because I'm about to kill your immune system. I'm like, that doesn't sound good. So I went home. I pulled out the pamphlet that she gave me on all the medications. I pulled out the pamphlet she'd give me on the I took and I did all my research. Like I'm not the one that's just gonna say, oh well, this doesn't sound like a good idea, so I'm not gonna do it. No, I'm gonna research into it. So I just started looking into it. The medication that she wanted to put me on was a chemotherapy pill. Side effects were depression, weight gain, suicidal thoughts, and there was a, I believe, 3.4% chance of developing cervical cancer from taking a chemotherapy pill. And I'm like, first off, this is arthritis. Why do I need a chemotherapy pill? And then the injections, they had very common side effects, but they also had different things that kind of seemed like, to me anyways, it counteracted with the pill. And I'm like, well, why would you fight against each other? And they were also $1,300 a month with insurance. And I'm like, if my health needs it, I can make it happen. But then I have to like give myself an injection. I had to do that before my surgeries, like my blood thinners that I'm on. I had to switch to shots, and that's not fun. I did not enjoy that at all. Like my stomach was bruised like a Dalmatian. I'm like, I don't know about this. Like, this just does not sound right. I actually had an appointment made to go and get my vaccine, and I got there and there was nobody there. And I looked at my calendar and I realized I booked it for the wrong weekend.
Mm.
And I'm just like, maybe this is my sign. Like, I'm not doing this. So I read about more about it. I was like, no. I was like, I'm not doing it. And then I had a friend that reached out to me and she was like, Hayley, I've been praying for you ever since your surgery. She's like, and I've known her my whole entire life. Me and her niece are actually best friends. We've been best friends since kindergarten. And she was like, I really want you to consider this. She was like, just research it. And I researched it, of course, the way I do everything. And I was like, the biggest thing that stuck out to me was 365-day money back guarantee. I'm like, so you know what? I can
Right.
try it. If it doesn't work, I'm going to get my money back and then I'll go talk to my doctor and say, hey, we can do this your way. So I got like super excited. I got the reboot. I was like, I'm going to do this. I'm absolutely going to do this reboot. I want my body to accept this as quickly as possible. I need relief. Like this needs to happen. And of course, the relief is something I can't take because it has turmeric and I'm on blood thinner, and those two don't go together. So I have done this whole entire journey without any type of. I've never been the one to take Tylenol for a headache. I don't like to put anything in my body besides my medication that I have to have for my heart. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so I started with the fundamentals and edge. Within a week, the inflammation in my hands, I have a picture floating around somewhere. Within a week, the inflammation in my hands probably went down by half its size. I was able to get up. I was able to like walk through the house by myself. Like I got up to go pee one morning, and Rick was like, "Here, honey, let me help you out of the bed." And I'm like, "No, I got this," and I just popped right up. And he's like, "What?" And I'm like, "I know it's something that we normally do every day that I didn't realize I actually did for myself." And the edge actually, because all of the ingredients in it actually is anti-inflammatory, like that's what provided the instant relief. I was able to close my hands, which was a big deal. I'm now baking.
Oh,
I am doing the 75 hard. I'm able to do so
oh my,
much. And the fundamentals is healing it at the root. And I went to the doctor literally 2 months after I started it. And I was like, I walked in there and I told her, I was like, hey, I'm leaving. I'm going to go to the doctor, get my lab work done. I called her. I was like, will you do my lab work for me? She was like, yeah. And I went in there and I was like, it's got to be at least down to a 40. It's got to be at least down to a 40. She did the blood work and she's like, okay, it'll be like 24 hours before you have the results. I'm like, I cannot wait 24 hours. I need to know this. So the next day, my app went off to notify me my lab results are back. And I like looked in there to see everything. And it was down to a 19. And I almost like fell in the floor. I'm like,
And
how
you
does
said normal is 14?
right. And that was about 2 months ago, so I need to go have it checked again. I'm almost can guarantee I'm in normal range, but I was like, it's got to be at least down to a 40. And I was like, I bet you it's looking at 40. And I got the results, and I came running in there because we work from home, but we work in 2 separate rooms. And I come running in there, and I'm like, guess what? And he's like, what? And I'm like, guess what my rheumatoid factor is? And he was like, 37. And I'm like, no, a 19. He said, you said what? Like he stopped what he was doing, looked at me, and it's like, what? And I'm like, a 19. And I never, ever would have. I was honestly, my mind was already made up that I was going to send this stuff back, get my money back, and have to find a different route. Like I was just very skeptical. I was not into the whole entire holistic approach. I didn't know too
Right.
much about it, and now I'm like, literally a month after, I was like, sign me up. I believe in this stuff. Like it's time to share it with the world. Like I want to be a wellness partner. And like it's changed a lot of things. Like there's so much in my life that has changed just because I feel better. I want to
Because
do
you can
more.
do it. Yes.
Exactly. Like I like to push myself. Like, well, dude, like we made pickles all summer long from the garden and stuff like that. And they're like, my parents bought me a attachment for my stand mixer to help me from having to slice so much. And I'm like, it's okay, I can slice now. Like I can do this now. And it's just amazing at like how much better I feel, how much energy I have, like everything's working properly so I can be the best that I can be.
Right. I'm curious to know, what'd your doctor think? What did he or she say?
So she asked me, which my nurse, she's a nurse practitioner, and I see her, I've seen her. She's the only one that I really, really trust because
Mhm.
she's the only one that's ever been like very honest with me. Like, hey, these are the precautions you need to. She would when I told her what, because I called her after the rheumatologist visit, and I was like, this is what they're wanting to do. Can I have your opinion? And she's like, yes. She was like, with the vaccine, she was like, I want to make you aware of heart palpitations, a side effect. She was like, you already have heart problems. She was like, I want to make you aware of everything. And she would like list everything out to me and let me
Mhm.
make my decision, but she would give me the knowledge that I needed. And I went and had it done. And she was like, so what have you been doing differently? Did you start the injections and the pills? And I was like, nope, because I told her I was concerned about it. And I was like, no, actually, I was like, I found a whole entire different route to take. And I told her everything that I was doing. And she was like, well, listen, she's like, keep doing it. She's like, everything in your lab work is the best I've seen it since I've been seeing you. She's like, so continue doing what you're doing. And I'm like, okay.
I am so
And I
thrilled
have a
for
cardiologist
you.
appointment coming up in like 2 months. So
Yeah.
I'm anxious to see what she says about it.
Now, what did the rheumatoid arthritis doctor say? The one that was like, have you been back or?
I have not. She called me and she was like, hey, it's time for a follow appointment. And we need to get your medicines and stuff called in. And I was like, actually, we don't. And she was like, so you're feeling okay? She was like, and all of that. And I was like, I'm feeling great. I was like, my last rheumatoid factor was at 19. I was like, and this is working. I was like, there's nothing. And she was like, well, send me over some information on it. I want to read about it. And she responded and let me know that she didn't see anything that would counteract with any of my other medicines. And I'm like, well, we already established this.
I
And
would
she
say,
was just
so
like,
start
okay.
using
She's like,
it in your practice for other people.
right. I'm like, so let's like tell others about this instead of like, filling them full of
Yes.
toxins. But she's like, if you have any issues or anything comes up, then reach out and you can come see me. And I'm like, okay, I don't see you anytime soon.
Wow. That is so amazing. You just really have an incredible story. You really do. I'm sure you know that. And you're feeling it. And I'm just so happy
I
for
am.
you. I'm so happy for
Thank
you.
you. Yes, it's
So,
been great. Like it's really, and now my whole family, I've gotten like everybody different things for different areas. Like
right.
I have Rick taking vitamins, and my father, which does not put anything healthy hardly in his body. He's a toddler. We're still working on him. But he is actually now taking the energy and edge because he is a boss at a company and he works nowadays. And he's like, comes home, he's like, I'm tired. And he pulled his back out actually. And I made him, I was like, your discs are inflamed. I'm like, hold on a second. And I put him 2 things at edge and he drank it. And like 10 minutes later, he just come like flying through my house. And he's just like, I feel great. What is this stuff? Is it going to make me fail a drug test? And I'm like, nope. So now
Yeah, is it going to make me fail a drug test? That's so
that was
funny.
the first thing out of his mouth. And I'm like, no, it's not. It's all natural.
Oh, that is so great, Hayley. I am so glad you came on here to share your story, because I feel like it is so inspiring to know that the things that we're struggling with, we do not have to be stuck, right? We don't have to be stuck, and we don't have to go the route of conventional medicine. We don't have to go the route of toxins or medications. There's a time and a place for that. And I believe that the time and place should be temporary. If we can at all avoid that, our first course should be looking at our food and our diet, and then trying natural routes. And because I really believe that God has created all of the things that we need for our body and for our health and our healing. It's already been created. We just have to find it. And that's one of the things that I love about these products, is that I didn't have to go searching and like pull a little bit of this from here and some of that from there and this over there, and put it all together and kind of make my own concoction or brew. It's already packaged and done. It's there for me. I didn't have to piecemeal it together like I was doing in previous years. So, okay, I want to just say thank you again. And for those of you who have watched or are watching or may come and see this later, if you have questions, please reach out to Hayley or myself. We would be happy to kind of help guide you on this journey to get you started for your own health and healing that begins in your gut. So thank you again, Hayley.
Thank
Bye.
you.
You're welcome.
Bye.